Hi everyone, Nigel here with you again, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Just another quick video. One tip, I think, really, or no, maybe a couple of things. The first bit, as you can see, I've got all the HVSS units now fitted onto the main hull, and I've also got the return roller bearings and the sprocket gear housing on. You can see on my kit I had a gap in here. You can see I've put a piece of plastic card in there. Now I'm not sure if I've done something wrong or if this is a fit issue, but when you look inside the hull you have a long lug here which is attached to the side, okay, and you have this lug here which is attached to the hull. So that one there, it's down properly, and that one there, it's up against the side. And it's up against the side and everything here, but I still had a gap at the bottom. So I'm not sure if it's a mismold or I've done something wrong or whatever. But the other issue I'm noticing is when I take this rear cover, bearing in mind this rear cover has a one of these male ejector pin marks, a Z pin. So you need to make sure that is all sanded out, which I haven't. That is not totally smooth. So we need to make sure that's completely sanded out and removed. Another thing of note when I think of it, there is on the back of this sprocket here, just above the pin, or the gear housing should I say, not the sprocket, there is an ejector pin which is proud, so you need to remove that to get a decent fit. It's only on the bottom edge we need to make sure this is removed because it butts up against this thick section at the back. So that's going to slot in there like that. As you can see, and we've got two ridges either side, but you can see here we have quite a considerable gap here, and it's not that easy to hold in position, but we have quite a considerable gap here and here. So I'm not sure if I've done something wrong or what's going on. But it's going to need filling because it's going to look bloody awful with that gap left there. But certainly, as I say, the side panel on both sides is butted up to the floor and down properly. So I don't know what's going on. It's probably me because the kit is beautifully engineered and wonderful fit. Yeah, there's a couple of errors in the instructions, but other than that, it's bloody lovely. It really is. That's got itself locked up on there. I've now realised, well, I think I know what these hooks are for. You can see that on the suspension units here, there is a hook in between the wheels there. We've also got this hook here. And in the lovely book they give you with this twin set, you can see it with rubber straps. So I reckon what they do is jack it up and then put a strap on there, and they can take these wheels off then. So these wheels are still removable, so you can remove the wheels. Obviously with the suspension in a normal position, the hull gets in the way and you can't pull the wheel out. So very nice. So obviously I've got the wheels removable for painting, and this is very nice to see because a couple of kits like that Tamiya M28A1 that we must get on and get painted now it's cooling down a bit, you know, there was no real location for the wheels, was there? And I had to glue them on with white glue to make up the tracks. But yeah, this fit of this part here is quite concerning. I'm not sure if maybe it's because it's got a large draft on it. We should be able to see with these calipers. No, it doesn't have a large draft on it at all. So something ain't quite right. I've put the sprockets on and checked, and they all seem to line up. So if we clamp it all back to close the gap up, the sprockets are going to be pointing outwards. Whether that'll notice or not, I do not know. But there is certainly a gap in there. So I'll put some plastic card in there or something, and then Mr. Surfacer. But we can see if we push this in, we can move it about quite a lot. I mean, it's probably going to be 10th hour side on the plastic card, so we'll probably add the card to this first, or add the card to the back of this and then sand it flat. I'll probably add it to this, although this has got a nice cast texture on it. It might be easier to put it on there and then sand it around there. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The other thing I want to talk about was the outers. Now, if you remember in the last video, I went through all the fuss about getting all this lined up with the brass rod and the pins and everything. I haven't read any comments on that video yet. Let's see what you come back and said. But we can see here, we've got these bogies fitted on here. And we can see now the beauty of doing all that is when we do this, there's a little bit of a warp in this one. So we've got a bit of a gap at the back, but you can see the alignment is perfect. So, you know, all the wheels are on the ground and we can just slot that on and it's going to fit beautifully. But there's a major tip I want to give you here to remember. When you assemble this, this is the outer sponson, if you like. You're either going to have this attached to your tank or being towed behind. And these actually slot in here, like so. Okay, and you can see that these suspension units are sliding over and onto this piece. And if we remove this now, you can see there is a lip here that needs to go over. So there has to be a gap in here, a nice even gap, and it's exactly 1mm. So I've got a piece of 1mm card. I just put it in there. So what I do is take the side, take the suspension unit, hold it in position. Okay, just going to hold it here with my finger and holding it at the top. So I'm gluing at the bottom so the glue doesn't go up under my finger. I'll put a drop in there and a drop in there. That'll be enough just to hold it in place. And then I can put my plastic card in there. Just have it so it's a nice snug fit. And then we can come on and get some cement around the rest of it. Okay, I'm not going to squeeze it because I don't want anything oozing out. Now we'll just do a quick check. That plastic card fits in there, and it does, it fits beautifully. So when we come to fit that outer panel, it will fit nicely just like this one does here. If you do have a couple of tight spots, it would be easy to sand a bit off of there, but it's probably best to have it all nice and level and square and everything, and that piece of 1mm plastic card will ensure that happens. It's a nice snug fit. Alright, and the reason I do say all this is because I know for a fact, because I drilled them out, these holes are 1mm in diameter, so I can show you here. I'll take an undrilled one there, look. So if I put my calipers in there, you can see that's like 0.92, which is nearly 1mm. And these pins, oh, the pins I measured were like 0.8. It is zeroing. There we go. Oh, that was 0.9. Oh, they are about right. Okay, I thought they were smaller. They had a lot of float in them. But anyway, that's the way I'm going about it. And so just put the unit in like that. It's not so easy on the front and rear ones, especially the rear ones, because you've got this return roller bearing in the way. Just hold that in place like that. Put a drop of cement in there. And a drop of cement in there. Get some cement on the brush, please. Just to tack it in. As I say, it's really difficult to get in there and hold it. And then we'll get our plastic card. Just make sure it's a nice snug fit. There we go. And then around there like that. Around there like that. Just check once again. There we are. So that's those in place. I'll just go along and do the same for the others, and that will be then done. And as we can see here, if we stand this up on the other side once again, we will see that our supports all line up perfectly. So that's going to make life really easy come the end. If you don't do it that way round and you end up with them all like this, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to lift the outer sponsons up or something, I don't know. But remember, you're going to have pins along the top here that will probably help to push it all back down. But you can see it's a pretty big old bird. That's going to be like that. Same on the other side. Yeah, it's a big old tank. That's why I wanted to get it, because as I said, I've built the dragon one and it's a beautiful looking thing. So in my opinion anyway, looks are the opinion of the beholder, aren't they? Right, there you go. Okay, so there we go, and as you can see, I can get this plastic card and I can slot that in there all the way down, so I know that the sponson's going to fit beautifully. Okay, so there we are. One little tip, one little thing I do want to say, if you look along here, it's not so bad, but it might be an idea, if you're really fussy about wheel alignment and everything, is glue these parts with the bolts around them to your panels before you add the bogies. Obviously what happens here is you've got this piece here that goes on, this piece here goes on, and then a plate on the outside, and that sandwiches these pivots between there and the and then you can actually align your wheels, because when you look at it, I'm not sure about, no, it's actually not so bad. I thought it, you can see that wheel there is popping out of alignment. There's a little bit of play. Hopefully the tracks will pull them all straight. But I like to see my wheels perfectly aligned, all nice and in a straight line. And for those of you who are just putting them on the display and you don't worry about moving parts, you might want to just glue all those pivots up so that it's all solid. But to get the wheels all perfectly aligned. But there we go. Now on the idler front, you can see here we have a large pin and a small pin. You're supposed to glue the pivot on. I'll show you in the manual. I haven't got the parts off because I'm not ready to play with that bit yet. But basically, you have this piece here, F23. So that is where your idler is going to go, and that's what's going to tension the tracks. It's my intention to cut the small pin off and then put the idler on with the track and rotate it to get the right tension. Now, I believe when you look at this, the track shouldn't have any sag in it. And looking at other pictures, I haven't noticed any sag. Let's just stand these up. So, yeah, I think that's going to be worth doing rather than just gluing it on. Because when you look at the part is in here, on these screws somewhere. There it is. When you look at the part, you can see that the axle is off center from that pin on the back. So when you turn it, it will tension or detension the track. And that small pin on the bottom can be cut off, and then you can turn it to get the perfect tension. Okay, so I'm not sure, they recommend 100 track links. I haven't tried it yet. I will do a video when it comes to fitting tracks, and we will go from there. Right, so that's that for that one. I just wanted to show you that little bit about doing that, just so you don't come unstuck, really. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.